So as I said earlier, I was going to go through the process for actually making the font. If you don't make it to making the font, it's not the end of the world. It's just kind of a little bit of reward for the 2 days you spent trying to draw it in the first place. The results are not spectacular, but they're also not terribly bad. But at least I wanted to walk you through this part of the process. The hope is that you've learned an awful lot about the pen tool by now, so that you feel very comfortable. We will use it in far greater detail as we go forward. So I went ahead and I pulled up the exercise 116 handout because there's a few things that we're going to need, one of which is a sample InDesign file. So since I'm here, I'll go ahead and save the link as and save it to my 116 folder. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump over to my Illustrator file, and I have a set that's ready of the drawings that I did, and I'm going to go ahead and export. And when I do that, I'm going to go to File, Save for Web, and then I've found that a higher resolution image really helps when you're translating it into a font. So I usually come over here to Image Size, and I'd bump up whatever the larger value is to like 3000, something like that. You could go a little bit higher if you want it. Now, because it's vector-based graphics, the scaling is always going to work really nicely. So it's not going to get more pixelated. You're going to have good scaling. So it's okay to do it right there. I also changed the type to be a JPEG high instead of the GIF, which is what it was. So I have my set here, nice and large. I'll go ahead and click Save. And I'll be able to call it what I want. There. Now, for those of you that did, replace it. For those of you that did your lettering both on the same page, it's just as simple as going over to your layers and turning off the lower set, turning on the upper set, like that. And then you're going to do the same export. So File, Save for Web. Again, adjusting the height here. You have to be a little patient while it catches up. There we go. I'll go ahead and click Save. Here. Okay, so I have both of those exported as pretty high quality. Now I'm going to go to the website that actually builds this, and it's paintfont.com. And by default, it lets you create the template, but we already created the template, so we're going to go over to Upload Filled Out Templates, and I'll go ahead and choose my file. We'll pick page 1. Now, below that, there's an Add Another Upload field, so I'll go ahead and click on that and choose the second page. Otherwise, I'll be missing some of the letters. So I have template 1 and template 2. I could give the font a name, whatever. You could choose to have an open type font or a true type font. It makes no difference which one you pick. And then I'll go ahead and click Send File. And we'll be a little bit patient, and if I filled out the characters, I should end up with something that looks roughly like this, which is what I was after. And then at that point, I can go ahead and download the font, and it'll show up on my computer. So I want to make sure that I save this to my flash drive, so let me show it in the folder, and there it is. And let me copy this, and I'm going to put it onto my flash drive. Now I have a resources folder that has a fonts folder in it, which is where I tend to put my extra fonts. So we'll go ahead and paste that in here as well. Paste. And it conveniently added an extra 1 for me there, so let's take that away. Okay, now I need to actually load it onto my system. And so you guys maybe remember from the Vitruvius exercise that in order to temporarily install a font on one of these computers at school, we need an extra little program to run. And I have that, I hope, already on my flash drive somewhere. I thought I did. apparently not. So we'll go through the whole process. So let me jump up to my digital tool site, Tutorials, Digital Life. It's the AMP font viewer right here, 0.15. And this is the software that I need to download. Is. Let me go ahead and show that so I can see it. There it is. I'm going to extract it to my flash drive. So I'll click extract all, and then I'm going to put it on my flash drive. I don't know why it's not currently on my flash drive. I must have deleted it. There. Alright, let me go ahead and open that now. Oops. There it is. And remember, this has to stay running while it's just in the background in order to keep the font actually going. It would be really nice if this had to actually open. Oh, how nice, right? There we go. And so I'm going to go to not installed fonts. I want to go to my flash drive, and I called that font. Let's see here. It's in the fonts folder. It's called Architect. There it is. Install font temporarily. Yes, I do. Okay, that's been installed. Let me jump to that InDesign file that I already downloaded. So let me go to Start, Computer, pick my flash drive, 135, 116. There it is, the sample font. And this is just confirming that it did in fact work correctly. Oh, and of course it would open in CS3, wouldn't it? Too much to ask. Let me go ahead and go to Design Standard CS6 and open InDesign CS6. Open. There we go. We're going to open it. All right. And I just created this little sample piece here so that it's easy for you to, you don't have to retype all the letters and that sort of thing. So that's good. And so I'll select those, and then I'll apply my Architect font. There it is. That shows up. Now it looks like I can increase the size a little bit so you can see a little bit better. There you go, something like that. Okay, so this is my my font. I'm going to go ahead and click save, or excuse me, export. I'm going to make a JPEG of it. Sample font JPEG, save. All of that's fine. Export. And then we'll come back to the course website, and we're going to make a post. So if you don't get a chance because you haven't gotten to the point where you're actually making the font, just do another image of whatever your lowercase letters look like and post that instead. If you make it all the way to making the font, that's fine. It's kind of the reward at the end for working on this for so long. So let me go ahead and create a new post here. Exercise 116. And I'm going to add media, and I'm going to attach, I hope, the architect font first. Go to my flash drive, and I'm just realizing now that it's possible that I haven't enabled it for OTFs. I might have only done it for TTFs. So we'll find out in just a second. Yeah, okay, so I have to re-enable OTFs. It's a security thing. I'll do that in a second, but I have to log in as the administrator. But let me go ahead and create my featured image. Alright, go ahead and set the featured image. There it is, perfect. Make sure I tag it correctly. 116, perfect. And then I'll go ahead and publish this. Now I have to come back and upload the font, but I have to enable OTFs. TTFs would upload correctly. It's a mistake on my end. So that's the actual process of making the font using the website. You may or may not get that far. As long as you have a post of something for exercise 116, I'm happy. Okay?